Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our group has been chosen Mongolia as our group presentation. Group members are Nurul Syafiqah Sari binti Muhammad Azlan, Rajesh Sharifah Nashwa binti Raja Muhammad Zamri, Nur Shamimi binti Muhammad, and I am Nurul Izzati Najwa binti Muhammad Azmi. Mongolia is a landlocked country in East Asia, bordered by Russia to the north and China to the south. It covers an area of 1.564 million square kilometers with a population of just 3.3 million, making it the world's most sparsely populated sovereign nation. Mongolia is the world's largest landlocked country that does not border a closed sea, and much of its area is covered by grassy steppe with mountains to the north and west and the Gobi Desert to the south. Ulaanbaatar, the capital and largest city, is home to roughly half of the country's population. Mongolia is an unitary semi-presidential republic. The current president is Ukhnagin Karasakh, and the current prime minister is Lev Sanamsrin Oyun-Erdin. Mongolians have been Buddhists since the 16th century when the Mongolian king Altan Khan was converted by Tibetan lamas. Mongolians follow Tibetan Buddhist teaching, the body of religious Buddhist doctrine and institution characteristic of Tibet and the Himalayan region. Mongolia's main import partners are Russia, China, Japan, USA, South Korea and Germany. They import petroleum, mineral products, machinery equipment, electric appliances, recorders, TV sets and spare part, vehicles, food products and base metal. Main export partners are China, Russia, Japan, Turkey, Italy and England. They export coal, copper, gold, crude petroleum, cashmere, animal organ products, hides and also skins.
Next, I'm going to move over the currency history of Mongolia. A number of documents provide evidence that since the Han, Tuareg, and Uyghur emperors, the Mongols have utilized coinage in trade upon establishing the unified Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan introduced gold and silver coins called sukis, and later in the year of 1227 introduced the world's first paper money or banknote or into circulation. This proves that Genghis Khan effectively used the role of trade and money exchanges when holding the nation's political, economic, and cultural system under the strong centralized power. As early in the year 1236, Mongols implement currency reform by invalidating coins of various shapes, weights, and values, and melting them into new coins with equal weights and values. Paper currency and coins were issued in large amounts, and in the year of 1253, the monetary division was established and conducted money circulation in manners such that resembles modern financial intermediaries. Initially, the coins of the period were not labeled with specific numeric values. However, later in the year of 1241, coins entitled the currency of the Great Mongol Empire were issued, with one engraved on them. During the reign of Kublai Khan, the deposit bank was established in Karakorum, the capital of the Mongol Empire, in the year 1260, and banknotes with a value of 10, 20, 100, and 1,000 were introduced into circulation. Later in 1282, other branches of the bank were opened in other commercial centers. As the monetary system underwent further developments, the reform of existing banknotes was made in 1280. In addition, in the year 1327, the banknote distraction unit, which was responsible for nullification of worn banknotes, was established, and it requires a necessary presence of province official during the process. During the reign of the successive Mongol emperor, golden, silver, and other type of coins and banknotes have been issued into money circulation more than 100 times. Such high economic, cultural, and specific achievements of the Mongol people were sadly left in oblivion under the centuries of long opposition of the Qing dynasty. Only in 1921, following the victory of People's Revolution, newly independent Mongolia regained the chance to restore its own monetary system. At that time, Mongolia lacked of efficient financial system, and the currency of Russia and China, gold and silver coins issued in England, in the use or in Mexico, silver blocks, Chinese or Manchu silver blocks called yumbu, yaks, camels, horses, other livestock, tea, and fur were functioning as medium exchanges, thus inevitably hindering the efficiency of the exchange system and the economy. Next, I'm going to proceed with the factors affecting Mongolia exchange rate. First, export. From 2006 until 2012, Mongolian export increased from 25% to 50% in each year. At the beginning of the time period, export to China reached to 26.64 million USD. However, it was reached an all-time high of 4404.56 million USD. In the month of December 2011, Mongolia mining is open for foreign investors because of the top export products are minerals, coal, copper, molybdenum, tin, tungsten, and gold. Other than Kashmir, animals origin products, hide skins, and natural culture stone. All the time Mongolian chief external trade partner is China, which is 92% total of export in 2012, and very limited share for Canada, which is 2.7%, and Russia 1.8%, and others, which is 3.5%. Next, the graph for import. Mongolian imports are minerals products, equipment, machinery, vehicles, electrics products, foods, and base metal products. Over 90% of Mongolia's petroleum comes from Russia, which is 27.6% of total import, and China 27.4% of total import. The major bulk of the Mongolian imports, while the next position is held by Japan, USA, Korea, Germany, and others. The next one is inflation. Historically, from 2006 until 2012, Mongolia inflation fluctuated and the differences was very high between every month. It reached an all-time high of 5.1% in April of 2008 and record low of 2.8% in the month of July 2010. The global economic crisis or rising of Chinese consumer prices and the booming of material sector of Mongolia also added pressure to inflation. Next, I'm going to move on with the exchange rate. Exchange rate between CNY and MNT has steadily been increasing since 2006. Before 2008, it averaged at 1 CNY, which is 151 MNT, and after 2008, it increased to 1 CNY to 198 MNT. The exchange rate between CNY and MNT rose sharply up to by 35% during the economic crisis worldwide in 2008. In the last 4 years, exchange rate was fluctuating and value was with very high differences. Exchange rate reached an all-time low of 146.3 MNT per CNY in March 2006 and a record high of 225% in December in 2012.
Theoretical literature. The theoretical literature on exchange rate pass-through has focused mainly on the issue of why the pass-through to import and consumer price is incomplete. Dornbusch, 1987, described incomplete pass-through as firm behavior that operate in imperfect market structure that adjust their markup in response to an exchange rate shock. Lee, 1997, for instance, show that evidence that domestic market consideration systematically affects the imperfect pass-through of individual industry in Korea. Tyler, 2000, argues that the decline in pass-through is due to the low inflation environment that has recently been achieved in many countries, and present the evidence that low inflation itself has caused the low pass-through. Gaynor and Ring, 2004, emphasized the role of inflation targeting as one of the determinants of pass-through. Descriptive analysis. The data for the two variables are retrieved from the International Financial Statistics (IFS) of International Monetary Fund. The consumer price are taken from the series for consumer price index with 2010 equal 100. The exchange rate expressed as domestic currency per US dollar per period average is processed into index with 2010 equal 100. Choose one unit of variable is approximately equal to 1 percentage point. The sample data are quarterly ones covering the period from the fourth quarter of 1991 to third quarter of 2018. Based on the IFS data constraint, figure 1 displays the trend in the consumer price and exchange rate by the year-on-year rate. By paradoxically, the two variables appear to synchronize before the adoption of inflation targeting in 2007 rather than after its adoption in Mongolia.
The value of correlations for foreign direct investment and export related to the exchange rate is 0.13 and 0.15 respectively. It is considered as positive correlation. The value of GDP growth and inflation shows negative correlation with exchange rates at 0.034 and 0.382 respectively. Foreign exchange direct investment has strong relationship with GDP growth. However, there is weak negative relationship between export and inflation. In model summary, R-square is equal to 0.18. This indicates that foreign direct investment (FDI), export GDP growth, and inflation account for around 80% of the Mongolia to Greek exchange rate. The adjusted R-square value is 0.016. It demonstrates that variation in exchange rate account for 1.6% of the variability. The independent variable explains a little portion of the dependent variable. In coefficients, the value of this statistic indicates that the FDI model and export have a significant positive impact on the exchange rates. As a result, the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Although GDP growth and inflation have insignificant impact on the exchange rate, the null hypothesis is accepted. In ANOVA, the p-value for the f-test is 0.834, which is higher than the level of significance of 0.05. As a result, the null hypothesis fails to be rejected. This shows that FDI, export, GDP growth, and inflation are statistically insignificant variables in explaining variations in the Mongolian to Greek exchange rate.